Hi you guys, my name is Oshun the Great, and welcome to my beautiful channel. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera right. So today I kind of wanted to touch on duality and why it's important to understand duality, because if you're anything like me, sorry you guys, if you're anything like me, again, forgive my empty apartment, just recently moved in, but that's not the important part. If you're anything like me, you kind of understand, and if depending on how long you've been on your truth seeking journey and your spiritual awakening, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a psychic medium. I give all this advice about opening your third eye, spiritual awakenings, and things like that. But by now you've probably been questioning, is there really a good and bad? And if you understand duality, you understand that good cannot exist without bad, and bad cannot exist without good. It's similar to yin and yang. So everything has to have an opposite side in order to be whole. If you have too much of one thing, then there's an imbalance there. And a lot of times when we don't understand duality, we live our existence as if the world is happening to us more so than taking our power and controlling our reality. So meaning, some people, if they don't understand duality, they live in this reality that life is bad all the time because things don't go their way, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes we live to extremes on the other side too. We always self-seek pleasure, or we always just want to be happy. And that's unrealistic. But when you understand duality, and I made a little list here, it kind of gets rid of your expectations that you have on life. And when we have expectations on life, we're not looking at reality as it is, meaning we're not looking at life as it comes with the good and the bad. And once you accept that reality is full of good and bad, and that it's not a bad thing that life is made that way, accept that we have ups and downs in life, accept that we have up cycles, down cycles, except that we have successes and failures. It's literally a constant changing thing. It's a constant flow of keeping things in order. So if you think about it, life is full of there's spiritual laws in place that people are unaware of. And the sooner you realize these things, the better your life will be. I don't want to necessarily say it'll be easier, but becoming consciously aware of these things can make your life a bit more easier, because then you won't always act from a victim standpoint or a woe is me kind of ideal, or, oh, why did God do this? Or why did, all these whys. You kind of accept what is, and accepting what is makes life way much easier. The sooner you accept the good and the bad of life, then you can just live life and accept what is and just be more. And really, you can only maneuver life and work through life if you understand the cycles of life and understand it. You can only work from that ground base. But if you're always thinking from the good and bad perspective, which human beings have this tendency to do, because we want to make understanding of everything. But how I kind of grasp this concept is that, okay, God, or the higher powers of the universe, kind of made life this way so we can learn lessons. That's where karma kind of fits in. That's where if we were born in just nirvana, straight bliss, had nothing to work on, then that would defeat the purpose of us being here on planet Earth, because we wouldn't be learning any lessons. We have already mastered everything there is to know. And the thing about being a human being, everything about us is essentially imperfect. And being that way means we have a lot to work on. And honestly, there's a beauty with that in life. But a lot of people kind of get stuck on the human the human terrain of well, this is too hard. But I don't feel like the universe or you or the higher beings or higher powers would put you somewhere if they didn't think you could handle a certain situation. So life isn't essentially easy, at least not for everyone. But there's a reason. It's so you can learn lessons, and that is kind of what you understand when you understand duality. Duality also has to do with You being a multifaceted human being, meaning you're not limited to one aspect of yourself, which is essentially good or bad. You understand that you're a mixture of both, and that everyone is a mixture of both. There's no human being that is all the way good, and there's no human being that's all the way bad. Maybe they're more than to one side than the other, and it depends. It depends on each case. But what I think is, no one person has just like, there has to be a balance there. Just like everyone has masculine and feminine in them. And you may veer towards one side more than the other, but if one side was non-existent, there would be a complete chaos and no balance there. So a lot of times we can be show duality in the way we dress. For women, that may be for women or men, that can be one day wearing men's clothing if you're a man, and the next wearing women's clothing or feminine things. And same for a woman, it can be tomboyish clothing. In behavior, it can be as far as like, having a sweet side, but also having a side that you snap on people, or being wild and knowing when to settle down and listen. And it's like all these sides to us that are very multifaceted. And when you understand duality, you understand that no person is designed or to be one specific way, and they don't have to, and you don't have to. You are able to play with this physical realm in your reality. And that's the beauty of understanding duality. So until we kind of grasp this concept or this fact about life, that there's good and bad, or, the opposite of each thing that you live with in life, we can't stop living from false beliefs, which kind of cause us to suffer. So the quicker you can grasp this concept and kind of understand it, then you can free yourself from suffering. And a lot of times this takes practice, because sometimes we forget, like we sometimes get in our conditioning and we feel like, oh, well, damn, I wish more good things came out of my life, but we don't understand how a certain situation could be serving you still at this very moment. It could be molding you to a person that you're supposed to become. Just like the saying, the coal under pressure doesn't become a diamond. A coal under pressure becomes a diamond. And that's kind of similar to our life here on planet Earth. But sometimes we get stuck in this feeling like, oh, it's too hard, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like it can be on the extreme opposite side too. If you have no worries in life, maybe money solved majority of your problems and you still feel unfulfilled, then that can be another extreme. So it's all about finding a balance in everything you do, and things like that. But yeah, that's my little viewpoint on duality. To me, it's fun on the most basic levels to play with duality and to give yourself legroom to breathe and be who you are. Because I feel a lot of conditioning, especially from religious backgrounds, depending on where you grow up and where you're from, we are taught shame to not be this bad boy or bad girl. And for me, I've always have this feeling deep down like, oh, I don't want to be a bad person. But in the most layman's terms, like there is no really like bad person. Obviously, you can argue like people killing each other and raping and stuff like that. But on the most basic level, there is no really like bad person. There's unconsciousness and consciousness. There's light and dark. So it's a matter of bringing light into the dark, and vice versa. It needs to be balanced and things of that nature. But yeah, that's my belief, you guys. That's my little input. Maybe it has made some insight or impact on someone who may stumble upon this video. I'd like to hear your viewpoint too, if you have anything on duality. Keep in mind, sorry, I have like crumbs in my mouth from breakfast. Keep in mind, I do offer Skype sessions. So if you want to check it out, by all means do so. If you need help in anything, relationships, spirituality, be dope, be you unapologetically. Peace.